Hey, how's everybody doing today? We're already underway. There's already some games that have kicked off here right now in the Europa
Oh,
Conference League and in the Europa League. Uh, how's everybody doing today? Amadeus, Paul, what's going on?
all good. All good on my end.
Yeah, doing good over here.
You're doing better than good. AC Milan with a 1-0 win yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to make of it, right? 1-0, still got to go to Napoli next week, so
I
we'll
think
see
it's
what
huge.
happens there.
And Guis is out. Kim is out. For the next leg, and
Osimhen is back.
Osimhen's back. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
You know, I thought the refing was ridiculous there. In that
yeah,
game.
57 yellow. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yellow cards. I mean, look, it's a quarterfinal between two Italian teams. I mean, you got to just kind of, you got
Well,
to
the
relax.
Ming Jae card was literally for his reaction to a foul that wasn't a foul,
Yeah, I mean,
and it was ridiculous. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever
What,
seen.
what do you think about VIR?
VAR.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't even get me
Uh,
started.
yeah,
Rather helpful or controversial?
look, it depends. I mean, in Europe, they use that semi-automated offside stuff, so it's like a lot quicker. I think that's going to happen in England. I think the problem with VAR, they go to these checks, and it's like 3 minutes to check if a guy's onside or not. And you're like, the guy's he's offside by a yard. Like, it's not even like what is going on, or he's onside by a yard. It's like
Yeah. For
I saw
the
I saw
for
one
the
over the
offsides, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, they're checking
But
off sides the guy's a yard on, and just like, come on, man, you could tell he's on side. Like that stuff is ridiculous. Like, why are you wasting
I
time?
mean, that, uh, let's say, for example, in the Premier League or in some domestic league, uh, one kind of handball is a penalty, and you see
Right.
it 2 days later in the Champions League. They watch it again for 5 minutes, and then it's not a penalty. Yes. I
I have
say that.
Yeah.
I have a problem with all this. Like, I'm this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I was, you know what I was going to touch on. That Brighton match on Saturday was just a prime example of the way VAR is used incorrectly all the time. They set the precedent in that game by not giving Brighton an early penalty in the first 5 minutes. There was a handball by Tottenham in the box. They let it go. So if you're going to let that go, you let it go for the match. Then what do? They disallow 2 Brighton goals for the same kind of handball. Like it was actually ridiculous. First of
Absolutely.
all, the one, his hands like that. So like I don't know how more to the side you could have his
No,
arm.
now is they understand that if it's part of the sleeve, it's part of the hand, and some crazy kind of shit. Yeah, but I kind of like it more before when I said, okay, it happens like in a second. They can't see it properly, so okay. But now
I just think they should
today
get like just
today the wall is black, the next day the wall is white. Come on.
Yeah,
look.
and it's becoming a joke because obviously you got the Matoma stamped on the foot. If that's not a penalty, then like I don't know what is anymore.
It's in the Premier League. It's a disaster because it's just every week and there's something. I mean, it's just the press there. I mean, it's just constant. They're all over it. They have to find a way, like with these handballs. Look, it's either a penalty or it's not. Like if it touches your hand I don't care if he's. The craziest thing is when you're sliding and your arm is down. No, it's not. You're making your body bigger. I don't
Yeah,
understand. It's
it was in the second minute of Barca Real.
yeah.
He
It's the
was
same thing
sliding,
as
his
making
hand
your
was
body.
down, and the ref said no penalty.
Yeah, it's. I don't understand why making your body bigger when you're on the ground is not is better than making your body bigger when you're thing. If you're like this and you're standing, it's a penalty. If you're on the ground, it's not. And it's just like it just makes your body bigger. That's stupid. If I was on the ground sliding, I would put my hands out because if it hits your hand, it's not a penalty. And then but then the way that Manchester United lost the first in the Europa League against Sociedad, they gave a penalty against Martinez when it hit his foot and rolled up his body and hit his arm, and you're just like, and he's on the ground, and you're just like, what the hell? He can't do anything. It already hit his whole body and rolled up his arm. Like, it's just I don't know. It's crazy. They have to find a way to make it so that it is there's conformity everywhere. You play in a game. It doesn't matter if you're in Europe or if you're in whatever, the Premier League or the Serie A or the thing. It's the same call all the time. Like you can't. That's why people get so frustrated with the game.
Yeah, consistency is definitely the issue. And it's not even consistency between leagues. It's consistency within the own league that it's being called in, because you'll see in the Premier League alone, one match it's a handball and in another match it's not a handball, or even with between leagues, as Paul was touching on, you get what we saw in the Premier League over the weekend, which was an absolute disaster in multiple games with the VAR. But then you watch the Champions League games the last 2 days, and it's like they were told, let them play. Because personally, I thought the reffing was really well, other than, maybe the Napoli match. But I thought the reffing was really well. They let them play. They obviously weren't going to call the ticky-tack kind of stuff. And, guys were trying to flop, and it wasn't getting called. But that's the thing is, like, then you go watch the Premier League, and they're calling everything, and, like, that's not good either.
Ridiculous.
It's hard to, the problem too is this is affecting that Brighton top. Imagine if Brighton finished top 4, man. That's worth $100 million. I mean, these calls.
Imagine if they win that match 5-2 like they should have.
Yeah. These calls cost teams money, and it's happened. A few years ago when that goal at Villa, the goal line technology was down, and I forget who went down, Sheffield United maybe. And you're just like, well, how is that possible? How is the goal line technology down and they can't see something that's clear and obvious? It's over the line. And they're like, we couldn't call it. Well, that stuff can't happen in games, because that's when people start saying, man, that's a little bit dodgy. Like, how is this happening? That's the problem I have with some of this stuff. I mean, you see the same thing. We were just talking about this about the NBA. The playoffs. The Lakers are playing Memphis, and I compared it to Jack and the Lakers. The foul calls, the amount of times they went to the free throw line compared to any other team. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk, and then like someone sitting on a little mushroom. Like they had so many more foul calls.
The free throw differentials.
Yeah,
for and against. Yeah. It was like
it's
crazy.
terrible. Like, and I mean, when someone says, "Oh, LeBron runs the league," or blah blah blah, and then you see stuff like that, it just makes people think like, man, they're right about that stuff. Like, so I think they got to get better with the refereeing, but the officials in England are terrible. I mean, they're just so bad. And the schedule this weekend, Villa, Newcastle, huge game. Chelsea, Brighton, big game for Brighton. Everton, Fulham, big game for them. Southampton, Palace, Tottenham. There's a bunch of big games. And at some point in one of those games or two of those games, there's going to be some kind of call that is wrong. And they're going to stick with it. They're going to give a penalty. They go to VAR, whatever it is. And they don't use VAR the right way. They don't officiate it the right way. I mean, they kind of, the referees on the field are relying on VAR because they're like, oh, VAR will save me if I don't make the call. But then the guy in the VAR room's like, I'm not going to overturn the guy's call. So, it's not good.
Yeah, and even like consistency within the game. not even just with VAR, just with the reffing. Like, I'm going to go back to the Napoli game yesterday. But yeah, Min Jae Kim gets a yellow card for not for the foul, which really wasn't even that much of a foul, especially with the way that they called the rest of the game. But he gets a yellow card for his reaction to the foul. Yet Rafael Leao gets off scot-free for breaking the corner flag and causing an actual delay in the game. That was ridiculous to me. I couldn't believe he didn't even get a card for that. That's a yellow card. He just broke one of the on-field equipment and caused like a 3-minute delay because they had to change the corner flag before they could continue.
Yeah, it's a little bit crazy.
Guy just kicked it and shattered it. It was ridiculous, and he's just nothing happened to him. It was like, oh, that's okay. Take your anger out on the post, punch a hole through the mesh in the net. That's fine, right? We won't give you a card for that. We'll just take the 10 minutes to repair the mesh.
Hey, you following the games now?
Here's the live lines right now for the two games, Feyenoord Roma and AA Ghent and West Ham. West Ham started the game at about plus 130, now up to plus 188 now after 27 minutes. It's still scoreless. Here's the lines for all the games. So here's the lines for the 3 p.m. Europa League games. Leverkusen, massive favorite over USG. I think there's going to be goals there. Juventus, Sporting Lisbon, Manchester United, Sevilla. I'm waiting to see the lineup for United. Anthony Martial is probably going to start. The Conference League, Anderlecht, Alkmaar, Lech Poznan, and Fiorentina, and Basel and Nice. What happened in the game? Anything?
Yeah, Roma are pushing hard, but Dybala got injured. And left.
Injured. Wow. Okay.
United have never beaten Sevilla, right?
Yeah.
In 4 games, never.
Never. Yeah. Well, I think
in general, with Spanish teams, they are having difficulties.
Not this year, though.
Yeah, but
this year they beat Sociedad the second time. They beat Bayern. They knocked the 2-2 in Barcelona and then 2-1 at home. They dominated against Betis in the first leg. I'd like to see the lineup.
No Rashford now.
Yeah, no Rashford, Martial back. So
Casemiro's back too.
Casemiro's back. Eriksen's back. It's interesting. I'd like to see if there's any kind of there's no leak.
You guys will be fine without Rashford. You got Wout Weghorst.
It looks like it's gonna be Sancho, Martial. Let me see the leaks here. Sancho, Martial, and Antony with Bruno.
Casemiro and McTominay.
And I don't know who's gonna. It's probably gonna be Fred, to be honest, because I think McTominay has got a little bit of a slight injury. And then it's gonna be the two center backs. You'd think Varane and Lisandro Martinez. Malacia is going to start at left back because Shaw is hurt. I would start Wan-Bissaka, although he could start Delap because they're going to be attacking. So it should be. What's that?
Are you seeing what's happening in this Roma match right now?
No. Yes, that's right, Foxy. There you go. ODB. I got the shirt. It was like $5. No, what happened?
Someone went down. I think it was a Roma player, and the Feyenoord player was rolling them off the field.
Yeah, but he went down like 3 meters out, and originally rolled himself on the field. So the Feyenoord player then decided.
I love seeing stuff like that where it's like they're just fighting that way.
What's what would be your between these 3 games that kick off at, or 6 games that kick off at 3:00. What would be the one you would be targeting here? You don't have to. I know. First of all, give out where can they find your plays, Amadeus?
Yeah, you can get my premium plays at bigal.com and pickadvisor.com. Yeah, for these early games.
Which games did you give out? And then there's the games tonight as well. What did you give out any of these games here? Any of these 6 games?
I got 1 in the Conference League and 2 in these Europa League games.
Okay. For me, I think in those second legs, or the second kickoffs here at 3:00. USG Bayer. There's probably some goals in that. It's the over 2.5 is -155.
Did you see yesterday? Sorry, there was not even one game where both teams scored.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that. I think you start to clear the bums out, and you start to play against the better teams. So
Yeah, but we were talking that all the pairs are all even. We expected more like more even performances, but some teams got theirs and have one foot on the semis.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely some of those ones are over.
I think I like Juventus. They don't give up goals. Obviously, they're playing much better now. In the Conference Leagues, I don't know. Probably Fiorentina. They're just a better team. I think they're playing. They're playing all right here. I don't know about Basel and Nice, to be honest. Nice is in the plays in the better league. I know Foxy and Amadeus probably not going to touch that Basel game.
Oh, I know Foxy's all over Basel. What do you mean? That's his team. He's all over Basel today.
Yeah. We'll see if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is even bothering to pay attention, or if he's more worried about the other stuff.
Yeah, I find it interesting that Nice is a plus 105 in that one, just because. I know Nice, they've been drawing a lot in Ligue 1 lately, but I feel like they're just a better team here. Basel, can't trust this Basel team.
Yeah, I agree.
They haven't even been playing well either.
I mean, the under 2.5 is -162, so maybe 1-0, 1-0, 1-1, something like that. I would probably say with Nice 1-0. Let's see what that pays.
Yeah, Basel's not even performing well in the Swiss league, and if you look at their matches, they basically lose to the young boys, which obviously dominance in that league. But a lot of the teams they're losing or drawing with are teams that are better than them, or just tend to be better teams in the league, right? Like they beat up on the bad ones, but then they play these better teams and they can't win.
But Basel have won only one of their last 4 matches. In Switzerland.
I would probably the Conference League is, man, you're wagering on teams like West Ham, Vamos, Sevilla. Oh boy.
I was just looking at 2 goals for Sevilla. In fact, more than 1 goal, not 2 goals. It was
over 1.5 goals.
Yeah, it was close 450.
Yeah, that's right. I'd like to see
if something is going to happen.
Over 1.5 for Manchester United is -205.
No Rashford.
We'll be all right. Hopefully. Here's the lines for the Champions League next week. Napoli -118, AC Milan +370, draw +250. Chelsea is favored at home. plus 175. Real Madrid plus 160. I don't know why you would ever bet Chelsea in that game. Bayern Munich is plus 163. I have no idea why you'd bet Bayern Munich in that game. Inter plus 108. Benfica plus 265. Inter at plus 108. Pretty decent value, I think. Maybe you get a response from Benfica, but I'm just not sure how good they are. So
that one probably would be an under, I would think. Inter Milan pretty much needs one goal to end the tie, and they'll probably sit back on defense at home.
Yeah, you think? I mean, with two, they don't even really at this point now. They just don't even need to do anything. Under 2.5 is minus 113. The under 3.5 in the Bayern Munich Manchester City is minus 167. Once again, I mean, they don't really need to do much in that game. Haven't made any Europa plays yet. Won my Medellin play. Junior Barranquilla last game of the parlay. Might cash out though. What time is that game? Champions League quarterfinal. Tigres and Montega. What time is that? I'm not sure what time that game is. Proxy. No score in any of these other games. Yeah, it's interesting. And then I wanted to kind of just quickly look at this. Here's the series markets for the NBA for the games that are set right now, because obviously there's the games tomorrow night. The Knicks are plus 185. The Cavaliers are minus 230. The Lakers are plus 115. The Grizzlies are minus 139. Hawks plus 620. Celtics minus 1,000. I don't think anybody thinks the Hawks are winning that series. Golden State's minus 250, even though they have to go on the road. Sacramento's plus 200.
That's interesting because they opened up as a -1 in the first game, but now they're basically a +1 in almost every book.
Yeah, I saw the plus 1.5. I think here. I think it's even plus 1.5. Let's see. Plus 1. They were so bad on the road, 10-31, so bad. But I can't imagine. Could it be rope-a-dope? Could it be whatever? Here's Bill, Madrid, and Benzema. Always, it's like betting on the sun to come up, Bill. This guy scores every game, man, and he's even money. He scores every game.
Here is one for Foxy. Live Feyenoord and Roma. A little bit enthusiastic, but from what I'm seeing, I won't be surprised if both teams score. Right now it was plus 275.
Let's see what we got. Yep. Instant betting. And that instant betting is next occurrence. That stuff is crazy. Plus 275, both teams to score.
Yeah.
All right. There you go, Foxy. What's happening with Rodgers to Jets?
Probably got to wait for Rodgers to get back from another retreat before he makes any decisions.
Jets altered trade offer to Packers after Aaron Rodgers' McAfee appearance. Rodgers might have cost Green Bay a first-round pick. According to Yahoo Sports, New York Jets once had a better deal on the table than they currently accept from Green Bay Packers. Without any clauses before Rodgers' appearance on the Pat McAfee show. So now they're not offering a first-round pick.
Are you watching this West Ham game right now?
No,
they just scored. They just scored the weirdest goal. I don't know how. I don't know if this is going to count or not. But you guys should check it out if you can. I think it's going to count. the goalie he goes to catch it on a corner, but he kind of bounces it down and it hits the guy's like the guy just gets his knee in there and it goes in.
I just saw it.
Yeah, originally the ref signaled like a free kick for
Handball.
for Ghent, but yeah, I don't know if it's gonna count. I don't think it's gonna count.
It will hit the news for sure.
I'll have to see that.
If counted.
It's posted on Live Score.
Yeah, it was
No
posted
goal?
on Bet365 too.
No.
Yeah, definitely took that away. I don't know how. The ref originally signaled for a free kick, like right away.
Now they're looking for a handball and no.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say I don't know how you count that.
Yeah, they took it. Yeah, they took it away.
It's kind of funny. Funny to watch.
I think Foxy, maybe they're just negotiating right now. And then once he went on that Pat McAfee show and said he wants to play there, or else he's going to retire. They got no leverage. So either take what we're giving you, or else we'll go get somebody else. Lamar Jackson, maybe. All right. So any kind of best bets here, best bets, best free bets. Obviously you got to go pay for Amadeus's good picks, and he's like on fire right now. So if you want that, go get that. I probably say the Manchester United line's up to 295 now all of a sudden. So maybe some info came out. Maybe
penalty for Roma. Well, if Foxy was fast to react.
Penalty for Roma?
Yeah. The handball, I told you earlier. the VR said check over, and now, in fact, I didn't see if there was some other event, and I will recommend staying away from this United game, because it's time for United to win finally, but without Rashford, and Sevilla are performing particularly bad in Spain, and
Bill's saying
he missed
Roma
it.
goal. Bayer
No,
Leverkusen
you're
minus.
spoiling it, Paul. Come on.
Sorry.
Bayer Leverkusen minus.
Oh my God, he hit the post.
You missed it?
Not as bad as Salah's miss, but yeah, he hit the post.
I want Feyenoord to get through. Actually, you know what? Maybe Roma, because they're not that good. Bill says, how about Bayer Leverkusen minus 1.5 and United the same?
That game upsets me.
Which one?
The Leverkusen one. Because I think the line is pretty accurate. I see Leverkusen probably winning the game by 1 goal.
Yeah.
Bill, I
The
think
Belgians are dangerous, I think.
I think there's goal. My play on that would be probably the over. I just think there's going to be goals in that game. I think it's going to be USG. If you watch that last tie, they were just up and down the pitch. I mean, they're really, really good.
Yeah, don't forget they eliminated another German team the previous round.
Yes, yeah. Freiburg. Yep. Yeah. Look, I would say I would probably my play on that would be the over. I think I would probably stay away from the rest of it. Both games over. I mean, I hope the Manchester United one is, just a regular 3-0 win. But yeah, I think there's probably some goals in that.
Well, I mean, you guys smashed Betis 4-1.
And it should have been really like 6-1. I mean, they really had other chances too. So
beat Barcelona.
Look, Rashford is clearly a miss, but you put Martial back. So you got Martial back now, and you got Sancho, and out wide and Anthony out wide. Sancho playing where he wants to play, Anthony playing where he wants to play, and then Martial through the middle. So, it's not a huge loss. Obviously he scores a lot of goals, but, this is why you have all these players. If Bobby plays for Leverkusen, I'd fancy him to score anytime. There you go, Bill. Goal scorers. Here you got him at plus 160. So I got him at plus 160 on Bet Rivers. So that's a pretty good play there. That team's pretty good. So, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Jeremy Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, Adley. They got some good players. So it might be a little bit of a step up for USG, but remember, they really kind of ran through that league last year. So it's going to be interesting. All right, so that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. For Friday, we'll go over all the games on the weekend, and join us again in about a half hour. We'll talk a little bit about some of this other stuff. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you.